Hey all, so finally starting to get back on the war video train. Here we are with War 1 of this season against Jedi Assassins. Generally pretty big rosters. They always place high, we gotta be careful. Starting out with this Sasquatch, and you'll notice that whenever I have the Dex Precision on me, and it can go away, I am only doing one hit into the stun as much as possible, sometimes two. But the reason for that is I am just waiting to see if the unstoppable procs. I'm being very, very careful with that. Photon is good for these fights. However, her one weakness relative to someone like a Buff Immune or Quicksilver or Silk is that she does have to worry about that dex. Now, I could have retaliated against that special one. I should have. I don't think I was fully cognizant of how much time I had left on my untouchable, so that's my mistake. But that's what you'll notice about this fight, is that you just have to be careful through Wrath of Tanarak. He is going to do block damage. You kind of have to wait it out. Debuff immune with this tactic is just obnoxious. There's no way around it. But Photon does have the block proficiency to get through this, and that is basically the whole plan, right? We wait out Wrath of Tanarak, we dodge all of these heavies in the corner, we know the timing on it, we hit once, we expect him to go unstoppable again, we hit into that, we don't have the dex buff on us. Now I could throw the special 3 here, but I think what I'm going to do, is I'm waiting on the tactic to try and get to 20 charges and get a little bit of regen out of this. We bait out this special 2, but the other thing I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that I'm using the special 3 to build space. So there I was at 24, I wasn't in pure light form yet, which doesn't actually matter. You just have to be above 20 charges to get the regen here. But we're going to throw that special 3. It's going to give us a little bit of space. We know he's going to be debuff immune, but that's fine. We have the regen up. We're hitting into him. I apparently dropped my block there rather than reparrying successfully, which is a little unfortunate because we get hit instead of being able to capitalize on the regen more. But now we are in pure light form. We saved ourselves just a little bit there, and we are backing him up as much as possible because we know he's about to go into Wrath. No excuses for missing that dex, but you also see how much inequity is helping us out here. That is just one of the risks of this fight. If he goes into Wrath while you have the passive stun up, if you're not fast enough, your brain will tell you, hey, it's safe to hit. I just landed a passive stun, and then he will go stun immune in time to hit you. It is what it is. Using the special 3 to get out of the corner yet again, purely as a space maintenance tool here. Honestly, this fight just sucks. It does. There are other good options, but I feel like a lot of them don't path as easily as Photon, and so I am continuing to use her. Trying to get the reparry here in the corner, but it's not quite working. We do get that punish in. Again, only one hit, wait out the unstoppable, because he won't go unstoppable for the hit where it triggers, right? The priority is late enough that he's not, you don't have to worry about him punishing that first hit. But that's why you want to be really disciplined about the single hit, so that if he does go unstoppable, you have time to react and back off. Don't mind blocking that, even though there's a chance of stunning, because if he does stun, we'll go untouchable, and then we finish it off with the special 2 while we still have protection down. It's a very good fight. Again, hate that fight. One of the worst on the map. It's worse when it's a mini-boss. I'm actually glad he was over here on Path 5. But that's how it looks, and Photon is really good for it. Going to continue to send her whenever it makes sense, basically. We move on to this Mephisto. This is going to be much, much simpler. Even though he is not tactic, the tactic is going to allow us to hit freely without any fear of the aura. We're going to be able to control his regen, as you just saw. We don't worry about knocking him down at any particular point because our basics hit hard as well as our specials. And there you go, sub 40-second takedown. Moving on to Tier 2. First fight, we have this Werewolf, which is not going to be fun. We know that. Especially because he is on Sadist, and so pretty much anyone with the tactic, which is necessary to handle him, for the most part, is going to trigger Sadist and just send his attack sky high. So if you get clipped, it is very easy to die here. I did boost up before this. I'll have an invuln running. You see that first rupture into block. I do get this intercept, and that means that we're going to make a lot of progress very quickly, but you don't need the intercept in this fight. He's not as tanky as somebody like Sasquatch. You do not have to worry about getting maximum damage all the time, and you'll see I start making that mistake here. Or no, I guess not there, because I get another intercept. Maybe I'm thinking of another fight, honestly, as I'm catching up on these, because here we go. I run out of pure light form. I have to wait. That's where I got hit. I knew there was something. Okay, so his double medium caught me on the dash back there, and here is where I start trying to force the intercept, where I really didn't need to. What I should have done here is just go back into pure light form, not do anything fancy. Him throwing that medium there caught me. I really didn't need it here. I should have just thrown that special 3 into him. We would have been fine. And I believe that's what I end up doing to close this out. Yeah, so I need to learn faster from my mistakes. I had made enough progress in the fight. I did not need to rush, but that's what potions are for. Moving on to Carl here. This is a simpler matchup, but probably a longer one, because we just know he is probably going to do something weird with his AI. He's going to refuse to throw a special somewhere, and it's going to give him time to heal. It is what it is. We just accept that. Go ahead and get rid of his first form here. We know none of our debuffs are going to stick, but we are just working on ramping. Throws another one here. We hit into him freely because he's not tactic. Hitting him is going to reverse the regen. It's also not strong enough for us to really worry about it just yet. Heavy counter there, get our paws going, and now I'm looking for an intercept. He doesn't seem to be willing to give it to me, but we're just going to keep looking for it as much as we can. Mystic Dispersion triggering there. Didn't make things easy, but then we took a risk, and it was worth it. Got protection down for the special 3. We do have power backs on here, so this is going to help out. Unfortunately, he did delay us enough that I don't believe we have enough charges left for the regen. Nope, no we do not. We're down below 20. But that's okay. Doing plenty of damage. I just punish here. I don't go for the pause because I feel like reversing his regen is going to be plenty here. Unfortunately, the Purify coming back does remove enough of my debuffs that we lose the benefit of Despair, and he does heal back up a bit. That's okay. Means we haven't put this form on cooldown, and so now we can. We get rid of the regen entirely while we're ramping back up. We do have to deal with the unblockable special 2 in the corner there, though. That was a little bit spooky, I'm not going to lie. But we're ramping back up, and so the next time we should be able to just reverse things. Can't hit into him here, because if we hit into him, if we accidentally intercept him while Mighty charges up, we won't place that first debuff. Therefore, we won't place our Petrify, and we lose our Mystic Dispersion counter, and I easily could have sent him red. I've made that mistake before with Photon versus Mighty Charge. It's one of the main things that you have to be careful of. And like I said, that kind of thing, and him just waiting, is why sometimes this fight can take longer. But that's okay. We're going to get this down. We still have half the time left. We basically just need to hit him to reverse his regen, as you see there. We go for the special 3. I want a little bit of health back. This is going to give us some more space control again. Probably also going to get him to throw another special to refresh his regen, and so that's just more that we're able to reverse. Clearly I was a bit too late on the heavy counter. That is a surprise to me. Or, oh, no, I think it was still on cooldown. That's my bad. But we go ahead and reverse it by going super aggro here. He throws it one more time, and that's going to be a wrap. So mainly this fight is so good because of that passive Petrify, because you can stay aggressive and reliably reverse his healing. But sometimes the AI is going to drag things out. You just know that going in, right? We move on to Ebony Maw here. Definitely a dangerous fight because of right back at it, but in my opinion, significantly less dangerous than the Sasquatch that you normally find over here. And you're going to see that as well. Because the problem with this node is basically between the prowess and the right back at it, eventually something's going to go wrong, right? Ebony Maw just isn't tanky enough to buy you enough time for something to go wrong. Sasquatch is. It's why he's so dangerous. But Maw, especially with a tactic that counters him so cleanly, messed up punish there, is just not the same thing. We were in pure light form there, and so we could have attacked, but because I missed the punish and didn't have the pause, I only had a conditional miscounter on my mediums. You see me run right into it there. I don't know why I went for that heavy there. I mean, I know why. I was trying to knock down to remove protection, but I shouldn't have. I should have just done 2 mediums. Thankfully, tactic helps us out, and I don't get punished too hard for the miss. But we definitely did not need to do that. Photon not being able to miss on her mediums outside of pure light form is very helpful, but it is not an absolute miscounter, and that's something that I should have been paying more attention to. So we're going to go ahead and remove this prowess. I do knock him down again to get the protection off because it had come back up. But now we're doing a good amount here. Being careful around the unstoppable since we don't have a slow or anything like that up. But now this special 2 with our miscounter fully up is going to do a bunch of damage. He throws this again. It misses. We get an easy punish, and this should allow us to close it out. There we go. So I didn't play it perfectly, but like I said, Maw is a much simpler fight there than Sasquatch was even on a path. And we move on to my final fight of this first war, this Attuma with Masacre. Masacre being tactic means that once he gets debuffs up, he is going to ignore thorns. Attuma is going to start with 2 debuffs, and so that's going to help us a lot. You'll notice that the thorns at the beginning here, only 250, whereas this would probably be more like 600 otherwise, or I guess more. And as soon as we get ignited and get another incinerate on him, we turn it off completely. Now we are going to have some problems with the root if he turtles like this, which is annoying. And that's going to put some bubble shield counters on us. But Masacre is good for this. We get to 10 there. I'm going to have to bait out something to avoid the unblockable. Or I could just get hit through the unblockable. Clearly my timing wasn't great there. I don't mind being rooted. The surprise light there was annoying. But now we're back on track. We can block, but I don't. And so I don't land a hit. Yeah, this is very poor play on my part. So apologies for that. Masacre is phenomenal for this node, but I am giving y'all a front row seat to the worst it can look, apparently. I forgot how bad this fight was a week and a half ago. Still, not taking thorns through most of this is helping us out. All of those incinerates, keeping hydration down, helps us out, and there we go. So this was our first war against JA. I believe we won this one. I honestly don't remember right now, but we're in a pretty good spot this season so far. And I will be out tomorrow with the next war video. I know a lot of y'all are more interested in Necropolis. I will be getting some content out on that soon. But for now, taking along with these war videos, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care.